Am I working on my second PhD? Oh my God, no. To be clear, despite the unkempt hair, I have zero PhDs, and I have zero interest in acquiring them as well. I'm an autodidact, and I wanted to make a video to talk about that, about how I do it and why I do it, in case that helps anybody out there. Because these days, I think if someone's not going to hire you because you don't have a PhD, they're not the kind of people you're going to be working with. Depending on your field, maybe that's the only way to open doors where you are. But I'm a writer, I'm a science archivist, I'm a creator. If they need to see that, they're not the kind of people I want to be working with. Because what I acquired, I worked very hard on my own. I didn't really need other people overseeing my education. I knew what was interesting to me, and I acquired the library to do it. And that's all you need to do. You were put here to learn something to the next level, and you are going to be the one who knows where your curiosity is taking you, and you're going to connect all those dots. I said in this last video that Crowley says you need a PhD level in all of these different fields before you can really get to practicing magic or mysticism or things like that. And it might not be a PhD level, but I feel like I've studied myself up to at least a master's level in a number of different subjects. And what that really takes is something like 10 books. I can't remember where I read this, but someone wrote that if you've read 10 books on a subject, 10 good nonfiction books on the Vietnam War, say, you know more than most people on the planet about that subject now. And you are not quite in a position to write your own book, but you're getting pretty close. For me, I've read about 150 books on cannabis, I would say. And that's because I'm writing my own books about it. But after the first 10 books, I had the general overall themes that were important around the history of cannabis, and I could really see what mattered. Ever since then, I've just been filling in the gaps, and it's been fun. But with 10 books, you really get somewhere on subjects. And so for me, the subjects that I've studied the most, that have been the most helpful, science, religion, and history always came naturally to me to study. That's probably where I have the most books in this collection. I also think it's very important to study fiction, unless you really hate it, but it's such an insightful depth. Look at the depths of what humans are and can be. Same with psychology. I haven't read the primary literature, but I'm married to a therapist, and I hear a lot from her. It's actually a better way to learn therapy in some ways. Philosophy, I haven't read the primary text that well, aside from Nietzsche, because I like him personally. But I know where they fit in the flow of how they influence human thought. I also think it's really important to study politics and economy. I've studied a lot of that in the CIA. And then lastly, the arts. The arts and poets are where we're going to be going. And I think that stuff's really important too. So you be an autodidact. You can study all this stuff. All the resources are out there for free, and you can connect your own dots.